The last thing Dr. Sarah Chen remembered was the blinding headlights and the small, terrified creature in the middle of the road. Her body had moved on instinct, throwing herself between the truck and what looked like a wolf pup, though its eyes held an intelligence that shouldn't exist in any earth animal. Then darkness. Now she gasped awake on cold metal, her lungs burning as if she'd been drowning. The ceiling above her pulsed with bioluminescent patterns she'd never seen before. Her hands flew to her chest, searching for the impact wounds that should have killed her. Nothing. Just smooth, unmarked skin beneath a strange, form-fitting suit. "You're awake," a voice rumbled from the shadows. "Good, we need you." Sarah sat up too quickly, her head spinning. The room around her was clearly not human-made. Organic curves instead of right angles, surfaces that seemed to breathe. And standing before her was something that made her brain struggle to process what her eyes were seeing. It was vaguely humanoid, but its skin shimmered with scales that shifted between midnight blue and deep violet. 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern studied her with unsettling focus, but what stopped her heart was the creature beside it, a larger version of the cub she'd died protecting. Though this one stood nearly 5 feet tall at the shoulder, its fur marked with strange geometric patterns that glowed faintly. "What? Where am I?" Sarah's voice cracked. "Approximately 40,000 light-years from your homeworld," the alien said. Its translator device rendered the words in perfect English, though the inflections were wrong. "I am Coordinator Vexthor of the Galactic Concordance. You died 3 of your weeks ago. We brought you back. That's impossible. Your species says that often, I've learned." Vexthor's mandibles clicked, perhaps amusement. "You were hit by a ground transport vehicle at 87 kilometers per hour. Massive internal trauma. Death was instantaneous." Sarah's hand went to her chest again. "Then how?" "The cub you protected was not from your world." The predator creature stepped forward, and Sarah instinctively flinched. But its eyes, those impossibly intelligent eyes, held only gentleness. "I am Honored Mother Krishal of the Vectar hunting clans. That was my daughter you saved." The pieces started falling into place, though they formed a picture too insane to believe. "You're aliens. You were on Earth. Reconnaissance mission," Vexthor confirmed. "Unauthorized as it happens. Krishal's daughter escaped her ship and wandered into your settlement. When you died protecting her, the cub initiated a distress beacon. We had to respond." "You violated the preservation protocols," Sarah said slowly, remembering the strange intelligence in that cub's eyes. "First contact laws." Vexthor's scales rippled, surprise. "You deduce quickly. Yes, your world was classified as pre-contact. No interference permitted, but you were already dead, and Krishal's daughter had imprinted on you. The Vectar have traditions about life debts, so we reconstructed you." Sarah stood on shaking legs. Through a viewport that suddenly materialized in the wall, she saw space, actual space with stars that were wrong, constellations she'd never seen. And ships, hundreds of them locked in battle. Weapons fire streaked between massive vessels and smaller fighters danced through the chaos. "What is that?" "War," Krishal growled. "The Devourers have come to this sector. They consume everything, worlds, civilizations, even stars themselves. The Concordance holds the line here, but we're losing. What does this have to do with me?" Vexthor and Krishal exchanged a look that needed no translation. "Everything," Vexthor said. "Your species is unusual, Dr. Chen. In the 3 weeks you've been here, we've studied your reconstructed biology. Your world is a nightmare by galactic standards. Excuse me? Your gravity is crushing. Your atmosphere is corrosive. 20% oxygen is toxic to most species. Your world hosts predators and diseases that would devastate civilized worlds. And yet you not only survive but thrive. You're stronger, faster, and more durable than any species in the Concordance." Sarah laughed bitterly. "I got hit by a truck and died. You saw a vehicle weighing several tons approaching at lethal speed, calculated that a small creature would die, and chose to sacrifice yourself in the fraction of a second most species need just to register danger." Krishal's growl held respect. "You didn't hesitate. You didn't run. You acted. That is why you're valuable. The Devourers are winning," Vexthor continued. "They adapt, they overwhelm, they destroy. We've thrown our best at them. Soldiers bred for millennia for combat, weapons that can crack planets. Nothing stops them for long. But you humans, you come from a world that tried to kill you every day for millions of years. You evolved to be survivors. You want me to fight in your war? Sarah's voice rose. I'm a veterinarian. I heal animals, I don't— You died for one, Krishal interrupted softly. An alien creature you'd never seen in a moment of pure crisis. You chose life over your own survival. That instinct, that impossible, irrational compassion combined with your predator reflexes, that's what we need. Through the viewport, a concordant ship exploded in silence, its debris scattering among the stars. We're not asking you to fight, Vexthor said. We're asking you to teach us how. Your species understands something we've forgotten, that sometimes the only way to protect what you love is to become the monster others fear. You've been doing it your entire evolution. Sarah looked at Krishal, at the alien predator who'd traveled across the galaxy to honor a debt to a dead human. She thought of that cub, terrified in the headlights. She thought of Earth, blissfully unaware that horror lurked in the stars. If I do this, she said slowly, I want protections for Earth. No interference, no exploitation, and if these devourers come anywhere near my home, we defend it with our lives, Krishal vowed. You saved my daughter. The Vectar never forget. Sarah took a deep breath and turned back to the battle raging outside. Somewhere in her chest, something wild and ancient stirred. The same instinct that had thrown her body between the truck and the cub. The same drive that had carried her ancestors through ice ages and plagues and extinction events. She died protecting a predator's cub. Now she'd teach predators how humans protected the galaxy. All right, Sarah Chen said, her reflection in the viewport showing a woman who'd been given an impossible second chance. Let's get to work. Outside, the war raged on. But for the first time in months, Coordinator Vexthor felt something dangerous and new. Hope.